Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night bull ring. Rosie will be back in a few minutes, or hope so. She's having camera problems, and Pop's Quest is having speaker problems or whatever. So he couldn't hear us anyway. So here we are, and I did send you a link, Parlusk. Check your YouTube inbox or your Facebook Messenger. Either one. There's a link there. You can jump in if you'd like. You're more than welcome. And until then, who 823 and yeah. Oh, is your six covered? Yeah, Rick. So if you want to do an intro, Rick, go ahead, man.
All right. Hey, everyone. Rick with Is Your Six Covered, and lucky as always to hang out with you guys. Other than that, let's have some fun tonight, and got some new videos coming out to check out. So, Shazam. That's it.
All right. And I'm going to jump around here. How about Blue 823? Would you like to do a video? I mean, an intro.
I've got absolutely nothing going on. Just thanks for the invite, and I can't wait to get chat started again tonight. TR, you're muted there, bro. Turn your mic on.
Yeah, I was hitting too many damn buttons. There's all kinds of shit popping up. Parlusk, would you like to do an intro? There's a lot of people that probably don't know who you are.
I'm Parlusk. I have a YouTube channel, Parlusk or Parlusk1791. This is the first time I've been on a Google Hangout, so I'm trying to get the feel for everything.
Welcome.
You'll get the hang of it. One thing, well, don't worry about it right now. Yeah, we'll roll with it and see what happens. You're good to go, man. Pop's Quest, would you like to do an intro, brother?
I'll do a quick one. Just gearing up for Farmageddon, getting the farm right, and trying to prime the ground over there for you guys to dump some lead. And Parlusk, it's good to see you, man. I watch your YouTube channel. It's got a great channel. Definitely put a comment. I don't have the side chat open, but definitely put a comment in the side chat. One of the most creative things I seen was that damn camper you built on the trailer thing. That was pretty badass. I know you got some other things in the work. You do some serious, good quality stuff. It's good to have you.
Right. Looks like Rosie got her camera working. Would you like to do an intro, Rosie? And you can roll on and do your talk about the economic situation going on if you would like. You can go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, let me just mute this side chat. And hi, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. I had a little bit of problems. Hello, everybody. And glad to be back on another Tuesday night bull ring. And thank you, TR. It's really, everybody's kind of holding their breath now, waiting for Inauguration Day to see what's really going to happen when Trump takes office. And it'll probably be one of the most anticipated inaugural speeches probably ever in history when it comes down. And it's going to really set the tone for how the president's going to act going forward. And I mentioned the last couple of weeks that I've sort of gotten the feeling that there's a little instability creeping in right now. And it's certainly been more noticeable the last couple of days in the market. We had an intraday drop of over 100 points. We ended off about 50 today. Just get the idea that maybe we overran our position a little too much. We're too far forward of where we need to be at this point in time. And this morning I saw that gold had like a $15 an ounce surge. There were a lot of things going on that were indicative of a little bit of instability right now. And I'm really very worried about that. What's going on in China, in particular, they're housing market, which I keep a close tabs on, because if they have a problem like we had in 2008, it's going to be like on steroids. It's a much bigger problem than we had here in 2008. So I'm keeping an eye on that too. But everybody's kind of settling in now and just waiting for Friday to hear what I think Friday's the day, the 20th, I believe. Yeah, to see what he's going to say. Otherwise, really kind of not a lot going on. Not a lot to really report. Christmas was miserable, as you know, for the brick and mortar retailers. So I'm not anticipating any changes in that. But I am anticipating that if you're in the mall business or the retail business, it might be a good time to exit. So Linda says, Rosie, it might be that Jim Chano will finally be right. He's been a skeptic of Chinese banking for years. We really don't know about Chinese banking. We have very little insight into Chinese banking. I do know, as I've said before, that they're experts at talking down their own position, because the last thing that they want is their currency to appreciate. At the current time, we have the Davos Economic Conference going on in Switzerland, which is all the big mucks from around the world, the central bankers, the corporate heads meet. And one of the things that, one of the realities is China's pledged to have a free-floating currency. Sometime they were probably supposed to already have it, and they have a managed currency against a basket of currencies now. And it's going to be very interesting, because the other nations want China to have a free-floating yuan, because they know that it will go higher because of the trade flows in China. Yet China wants to keep talking down the value of the yuan. So it's very interesting. So how is the Chinese banking system? Who knows? We have very little insight onto that. But I'll tell you, it's probably a lot better than they let on, because they're very good at the old fakes, the old fake out. You know, one thing is going on and they're saying it's something else. So that's about all I have for that, unless anybody on the side chat has anything, or the panel.
I mean, you know way more about it than I do, but I just noticed it's like the market kind of exploded after the election. It hit that point. Market, I'm just kind of looking at the dial, but setting right there, you know, it's just barely going up and down, you know, but it's right there at 20,000. I know that's not everything there is to it, but you know, as a plain Jane guy on the street, you know, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I can see that number, and it kind of gives me something to look at anyway. And yeah, it's like, I think there's a lot of enthusiasm, but I also think there's a lot of let's wait and see going on too.
Well, if you wanted to invest, and a lot of people want to have balanced portfolios, but if you're putting new money in it, and last time I had a chart of the market from 2008, and we basically, you know, gone up almost straight up since that time. And you don't want to be banging money into a market that's had basically 100% or more move. You're not going to have the value there. We're 22, 23 times. They're asking you to pay $23, $24 for a dollar of earnings, when in real cheap markets they ask you to pay $5 to $6 per dollar of earnings. So we're, you know, you almost have to run the table perfectly to have an investment pay off at this point. That's not to say like a stock like Amazon, I think it's 800 or something. Yeah, it'll go to 1,000. I'm almost sure of it. But you have those exceptional cases, but you have to balance that off with the broad market here. And is there value there? No. Like I said before, I think there's value in natural gas if you can get some exposure to natural gas. I still think metals look like a good value. I wouldn't go hog wild. Also, things like ammunition and guns, I think, continue to be solid things to put your money in. Not just because of preppers, but just because of you know, the market for that stuff, it always seems to be a one-way market. So Linda says, look at the banks. Usually you don't want to pay more than book value, but the good banks cost 1.5 times book now. That's too high for me. Well, book value is all the assets of the bank per share. If you were to liquidate everything, that's what book value is. You take that big sum of money and divide it by the number of shares that tells you the actual book value net of what they owe and everything. And they're asking you to pay 1.5 times for book. But the oh, I'm popping and crackling again on the audio, but I'll just end it on that. Just be careful, be cautious. I'm just going to reflect.
Anybody else want to add to this discussion or move on? Whatever y'all want to do, I'm open.
Yeah, real quick. The only thing I want to say, a couple things. Y'all remember when we were having a chat on the, I guess it was the night he got elected or whatnot, and all of a sudden it was like stocks were tanking and metals were up or something like that, and it was like and then a couple days later everything reversed, right? And we were all talking like, yeah, everybody, you know, knows this and that and everything, but apparently it was what was baked in beforehand that was causing that, because now it's been a total, you know, different reaction, you know. But and then didn't Remington stock just like tank like a son of a bitch after Trump got elected? Because I mean, they figured gun sales were gonna freaking, you know, be non-existent now that, you know, the Second Amendment's being protected. That's the only two things I was gonna, you know, add to that whole deal. But if y'all want to talk about it,
I don't. It's just been insane, the amount of people that's crying and this route. I mean, just all the crazy enough that, oh, you know, fucking world's going to shit because Trump got elected, but then all you hear about is him giving confidence to businesses to bring jobs to America or keep jobs in America. I'm not saying they're all going to happen, but they have optimism enough to shift gears.
yeah, but the market is the market and where it stands, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is controlled by not the retail guy that actually has a feeling, or he changes his mind, or what have you, or he reads a newspaper. The whole market is front run by baked in things that, you know, these you know, people believe is going to happen. So when the reverse happened, the opposite happens for the retail guy or the common person looking at the market going, oh, why did that just happen? You don't have a clue why it happened, and you'll never know, because so much speculation is built into that market. And that's why I don't mess with the stock market anymore, because it's not a market. It's a freaking casino for people that know way the hell more than you and me, and it's not a fair place to make a living in no more. So that's kind of how I look at it.
I think you have to buy value, Pops. You have to buy things that have value when you're low, and you have to be prepared to sit on them. I remember buying silver in 2005 and putting that stuff away, bags of silver for 5 and 6 times face, and then dumping that stuff out at 13, 14 times face. But it took 3 or 4 years for that to happen. I think there's a lot of money to invest. You have to be willing to have some guts to buy when nobody else wants to buy it, like real estate, like in 2011 when I bought this place and they thought that I'm crazy. And you have to have some guts to let go of some stuff now, like the market in 2017 here. It's almost priced to perfection. So I don't really think that I don't think it's controlled in a sense. I think, yes, there's big money that's run, but pensions and mutual funds, they depend on professional managers to do that kind of running, the Goldman Sachs, the Morgan Stanleys. I just think at times, I remember one of the smartest things Warren Buffett, you know, the Oracle of Omaha, one of the smartest investors I ever followed, one of the things he said is, everybody, when they start their investment career, they should be issued one punch card that they have 10 things that they can buy and sell in their whole investment career. Only 10. And he says people would probably make much better investment decisions because they would put a lot more thought and research in. They wouldn't be rocked back and forth so much by emotions. So I just try to buy things when they're very cheap, like natural gas is very cheap now. It's been down on its back for years. I think we're burning through a lot. We have a very cold winter here in the States, and I think we've burned through a lot of our supply, and we're not drilling as much with the gas. So I can see a situation where we could be making some money on natural gas here. It's cheap.
Actually, the Farmer's Almanac says we're going to have a mild winter. So you might want to rethink that.
I've been here since '98, Pops. This is the coldest. Our front page of our newspaper, the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, has people whining, unable to pay their heating bills. We're not used to this in California. There's $300-400 heating bills when usually about $50 a month or something gets you through here. It's I don't know about the global warming, guys.
I'll tell you from Northwest PA in the Snow Belt. This is one of the mildest winters we've ever had. I think I've plowed my driveway 3 times, which is unbelievable. I mean, and right now, today it got up to, I think it was 53, and it's supposed to stay above freezing for the remainder of January. So if we keep this up, I mean, we're used to, below freezing. I mean, it's not always 0 or 10 below, but I mean, we're always below freezing for like at least mid-December through mid-February, and we haven't hit that hardly at all. I mean, at nighttime it gets a little chilly, but this is actually a very, very, very mild winter compared to what we're used to, especially with snow. I mean, if I had to make a guess, I would say we got dumped one time with like 6 inches of snow, and then one time we got dumped with maybe 4, and then after that like 3 inches with a layer of ice on top. So this winter has been pretty good. I'm not
out west we've just been pounded. Now Linda says beware of natural gas in the face of the coal industry being unshackled, and I'm just not sure if the demand is going to be there for coal in the face of the price of oil and things like that. And not everybody's going to strip out their gas pipes and start burning coal. Okay, it's like the same as rationale when oil gets cheap. It's not like everybody's going to go take the solar panels off their roof and start burning more fossil fuels. I mean, a lot's already baked in the cake. It's pretty much signed off on coal. So if anything, coal can't even come on stream for about a year in a best case scenario. So at least that's my opinion. That gives some running room to things like natural gas right now.
Yeah, Parlusk, where are you? You're in Kentucky, right?
I'm in Virginia. I'm about 15 minutes from Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm in cold country.
So what do you burn to stay warm in the winter?
We have central air, but I have a wood burning stove in the fireplace. A lot of people here burn coal in their coal furnaces.
Like a wood burning stove, and it has a forced behind it or whatever.
Yeah, they just put coal in it.
Yeah, that burns for a long time, don't it?
Yeah, coal has, I don't know how many more times BTU than natural gas does. We have a lot of coal-fired power plants in the area too that runs off coal.
So Obama didn't get around to shutting them down?
Yeah, I'd say our coal companies, one of the biggest one, Alpha, filed bankruptcy. I'd say we probably lost 3,000-4,000 jobs here.
Damn.
You have Patriot Coal or Peabody down there, any of them?
We have met coal, iron coal, about every coal that there is mined here.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a while to recover from that. It's to bring that online, you need a really strong burst of economic incentives, like a spiking oil price or something like that. So, you know, I can see this window of opportunity for natural gas here. So, not to say coal won't come roaring back. I mean, we have a lot of it, but a lot of states have prohibitions against, you know, coal burning too, and a lot of them don't want to reverse to burning that for power generation and things like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of natural gas here too. Natural gas and coal. We have a lot of pipelines through here for natural gas. And the bottoms fell out of it here. But coal supports everything here. Supports your hospitals, your schools. Our coal severance tax in the county went from like $15 million to like $2 million within the past 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I'd be at that stuff's probably cheap, and as you say, it's been on its back for a while. That's the kind of situations that eventually come good given enough time, and that's my point about taking a position early and just sitting on it. And when all is said and done, when it comes good, you'll probably have a compounded return of 15, 18% on your money, even counting the years it did nothing. So. What is that? We have the highest gas tax here in PA. What is the gas tax in PA?
Couldn't find my button. I don't know what our tax is. I would have to look up what the actual tax is, but that's all I've been seeing in our local newspapers and stuff. But we're paying right now $2.64 for a gallon of gas.
Yeah, that's a little more than we pay. $2.58 here in California. We have California blended gasoline.
That's with the 70% tax. 70-cent tax. Or did they make it 80 now, Rosie?
I think it's still 70. Yeah, that's still with that tax. And of course, in summertime, they sock you with that summer blend, which when a refinery blows up, you just can't bring it in on trucks from other parts of the country. It's not allowed. So they kind of got you by the short ones.
Okay, I just looked it up. Our taxes per gallon, it was 50 cents per gallon, which was already the highest in the country. Now we are at 58 cents a gallon, which is a 16% increase.
Yeah, Linda is out in the Midwest, the Ozarks. They're $1.93 a gallon there.
It's about $2.19 on the coast of South Carolina.
Yeah, I was 205, 215. That's what I saw. That was your way not too long ago.
What's interesting from an economic point of view is we seem to have found a natural free market price for oil here. A barrel of oil somewhere around $52 a barrel. That's kind of interesting. Once and OPEC still thinks they have a little bit of control, and probably $35 is more realistic, something like that. It'll probably eventually get to that level. But it's interesting to see how non-volatile, how stable the price of oil has been.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, Christ, if something happens to where the gas price or the barrel goes up, I'm screwed. I mean, in no time, especially let's face facts, especially in the area I live in the wintertime, fuel is, let's say, like right now, it's I think it was $2.63. Once we start hitting into the summer months, like whenever you get to the vacation months, it's a 20-cent increase just because of the people traveling. So we're going to be looking at damn near $3 a gallon. And if I'm not mistaken, we saw that not too awful long ago in my area, at least a couple years ago. We were up above $3 a gallon for a while. But man, that sucks. That's a lot of money for gasoline to get you back and forth to work, to get you to eat groceries. And what they don't realize is that increase on the gas tax, all that's going to do is kill all the other taxes, because I guarantee goddamn to you, I'm not taking unneeded trips out to Walmart just because, oh well, hell, I'm bored, I'm gonna go for a ride. That damn ride just cost me, you know, $14 round trip back and forth. I mean, I'm not doing it. And that's, I just don't, I would like to know where this plan came out for this higher tax. It's ridiculous.
Probably one of those taxes that's easily voted in. It's kind of hidden. It's not like you go inside and you fuel up and then they tell you plus tax. I mean, it's all imputed in the price of it. So therefore, it's a little more under the radar screen to the average consumer.
There was a time blue in California when diesel was almost $5 a gallon when fuel was all the shit there for a little while. I can't remember what year that was.
Probably 4. That was back when gas was probably 4.
Yeah, it was. You could put $200 in your pickup truck. It was bullshit.
Yep.
They
a
few years ago they allowed, no, not a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they got a 1/2 cent sales tax voted in. Well, ever since they voted that in and they got the people to vote for it, it's been on the damn, you know, on the ballot every time. Another 1/2 cent, another 1/2 cent, another. And do you know, every time they put that 1/2 cent on there, it's gotten voted in. And now our sales tax is 8.5%. 1/2 cent at a time because of stupid ass people vote for that shit.
Same here. Well, they put that on first responders. No offense, Blue, but you know, and Rick, no offense, but you know, for first responders and people like that. I mean, we never turn down those taxes. Library taxes, school bonds, everything passes out here. They just keep voting every time, a 1/4 cent, a half a cent, 1/4 cent.
Right. And they'll always tack it on something that'll make you feel guilty to vote no on. But I don't give a damn what they say it's for, how little it is. Never vote to up your own damn taxes. They've been harping on that here in South Carolina for road tax. Well, we need to go up on gas tax so we can, you know, make better roads. Don't buy it. It's bullshit. It's all a fucking lie. It's just going to line some bureaucrat's pocket, give them more money to blow on some bullshit that they don't need.
But
be the same.
And
you
can't go down a damn road here and where I'm at and not see a sign saying your 1/2 cent sales tax money at work. It's like every 5 miles you see a sign like that, and I guarantee you them signs cost $5,000 a piece. It's ridiculous because they're fucking idiots.
Doesn't that make you happy?
Dig the hole, 9 guys to watch them dig it. I watched that on the way back from Myrtle Beach a couple of days ago. They had construction zone. We're sitting there and we're driving by at 5 miles an hour, and 9 guys are watching one guy do some. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but I was like, "That's funny." He was safe. Got to have people watching after him in case something happens.
Yeah, one guy was probably the you know, like his team leader, and then there was probably like a safety guy, and then there was probably like a person attached to the accounting department, and you know, and then there was probably a manager for the private construction company that interfaced with the government, and yeah, money well spent. Retarded.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. So Parlisk on that coal, how do you buy it in bags like dog food, or do you truckload?
Pick up truckloads.
Okay.
You just back up and they'll fill your pickup truck full of it. They sell it by the ton.
And then you just throw it in the bin when you get home or whatever?
You just pile it up outside and cover it up with a tarp, and then go out and put it in a bucket and then put it in your stove.
Huh. That's cool.
But they mine millions and millions of tons of coal. You'll have coal cars come through, 100 deep, full topped with coal.
There's one place in the upstate of, well, I say upstate, but in Greenville County, there's one place I can get coal, and you buy it by the bag. And I don't use it exclusively, but especially at night or in the morning or whatever, when I got to go to work, I stoke the wood stove full of wood, and I'll throw a big chunk of coal in there. So the wood will probably all burn up by the time I get home, but that will still have, be all, red hot, and it'll help me get the fire started again, so, and it's like, damn, what is it? More than you do. It's like $12 for a 40 or 50 pound bag or something like that.
You can literally,
that's the only way I can get it.
I probably know 300 or 400 places you can just go dig it out of the side of the mountain. It's littered the sides of the road. You can go shovel it up on the side of the road.
That's crazy.
That's a pretty cool resource to have just laying around,
Oh yeah, you can do a lot with it.
I've walked around on some railroad tracks. I can't remember where I was at. It was years ago, but I mean, hell, you just, especially on a railroad track, it was just laying all over the fucking place where it fell off the damn cars,
Yeah, if they overload it, anytime they turn or go around the curve, it just piles off.
Now I have a question because I'm not familiar with coal burning. I remember my parents, I just barely remember back whenever I was like 3, 4, 5 having a coal stove. But in comparison to these pellet stoves, what's a coal stove put out versus a pellet stove as far as cost, if you're familiar with that?
I'm not sure. A lot of the coal burning stoves are like wood and coal burning, so you can buy one for wood and you can stoke it with coal. But as far as it's a lot cheaper to heat with coal. Real inexpensive, and the BTUs that you get, I'd have to Google it, but the BTUs compared to coal and natural gas and wood, it's crazy how much BTUs you get out of one small chunk of coal. And if you can find what they call coke, is like 10 times more BTUs than coal. You can take a piece of coke about the size of your fist, and it'll burn for 6 or 8 hours.
Wow.
In a wood burning stove.
Is it harder to ignite?
Yeah, you usually have to get it going with kindling and then transfer it over and start burning with coal. But once it gets going, we've had fires where a coal seam catches on fire and burns for 10 or 20 years.
Oh yeah, the coal mines and stuff. Yeah.
Fires, yeah.
And you can't put it out. You can't draft or shuttle enough water to put it out, even if you're right beside a pond or lake or you have a main hydrant right there. It's just no use. You have to put it out with a dozer.
Just smother
it. There you go, Six. That's a new training for you guys out in California, how to put out coal mine fires.
They got one in Pennsylvania that's been burning, I don't know, what, 20 years?
That'd be a new fire for us.
Yeah, and they're just letting it go.
It's so big you can't put it out. It gets so hot, but it all burns underground. So,
and the thing is, and that's what makes me think: how cheap is it for us to produce coal that they're willing to waste all of this coal without digging down or doing whatever to basically make an underground fire break, or at least try to? Because it would have to run along a vein of coal.
Yeah, they tried that. Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but there's so many shafts and things that moved in so many directions that nobody really had the plans anymore, and it just was too big. It just too big. They could never put it out. I can't remember the town. It's in Pennsylvania or someplace. It's been on fire for.
In some of these deep mines, they'll mine I don't know, 100,000, 200,000 pounds or 200,000 tons of coal a shift. So I mean, you got some mines that when you walk in, you got 8, 9 foot seams of coal that go back in like 4 or 5 miles back into the mountain, and they just continuously mine it.
And Rosie, I've got your answer. It is, and I'm going to butcher the name, but it is in Pennsylvania. Centralia.
Centralia, that's it. Centralia. Everybody's had to move out. There's some great documentaries on YouTube if you want to see about fighting the things that they did to try to put that out, and they tried to do a break underground and trench it out and things like that. Everything just failed, and it just got bigger, and the ground was warm above, and they started having cave-ins and things, and they just had to abandon the town. So when you drive in now, it's like even part of the road sunk. I mean,
the thing I'm reading right here says that to this day, smoke can still be billowed, or can still be seen billowing.
The fire is as hot as it's ever been. Yeah.
And it's only been burning since 1962. So
yeah, 1962. Yeah.
That's amazing.
They have some really great videos on YouTube about Centralia and the fire there.
I'm gonna have to look up where that's at compared to
They
where
had to move everybody out, and just a disaster. And it used to be a great town, pretty moderate sized town.
That's where the buildings were falling in, right?
Part of them, yeah, and the ground was too warm above. You couldn't, when it would snow, it would be obvious snow wouldn't stick to the grounds in those areas. And they worried about the gases that people were breathing that were living there and things like that.
Yeah, coal's a little harder to. It's kind of, I won't say hard to ignite, but once you get it going, it's on. I mean, it's like tires. Tires hard to catch on fire, but when you get it on fire, you damn near ain't putting it out. So.
Yeah, they burn. It's hard to put out.
It's like a cabinet shop. When it starts to go up in flames, you just walk away. Let the sun burn it down.
So you got insurance, Pops? Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. The place is paid off now, so I don't like the bank's not making sure I do. But I think it's insured.
I'm a smoker. There's no way in hell I'd be in a cabinet shop smoking a cigarette. I'd be afraid to flick a ash. It might just go boom.
Yeah, they got to walk outside about 10 foot to smoke, and then they throw it out in the street or whatever. But
do you have to ground all your stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we get it. We get a lot of fire inspections. I just got an inspection from the workers' comp classification guy. We get inspected all the freaking time, but everything's on the up and up there. We got ground rods on all the heavy equipment. And, the garage doors ain't gonna come down and kill nobody, and the forklift is leaking a little fluid, but it's all good. But anyway, we get inspected regularly, and we got inspection reports for all that. So
a lot of the industries here that deal in anything wood products, all their evac or their vac systems have to be grounded because dust is explosive. So if you get a dusty environment and it ignites, it creates explosive environment, and you can.
Yeah, explosive is the key word, because a fine particulate with a good air oxygen supply with one little spark will blow the fucking place to bits. Literally blow it to bits. And it's happened before.
Like grain silos, Pop. Same thing, the fine grain dust.
Yep. We don't run our vacuum we don't have a centralized. We have a dust collection for each machine for that reason. Centralized equipment, you know, you have to run a ground conductor through the ductwork and whatnot to keep it from generating
static electricity.
Yeah, and
it'll shock the piss out of you too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well,
you can test that theory by taking some fine dust and blowing it out over a campfire, and it'll create a fireball. It's pretty cool. I should do a video on that because I got bags and bags of real fine sawdust. They're pretty cool to play with.
I can have some fun with that stuff.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it
soon.
So, Six, are you a firefighter?
Yep.
Are you woodland or?
No, we do it all.
Oh, okay.
Municipal, and then basically we do wildland and structure, technical rescue, and basically everything.
He's got a tree cutting service too. If you're
I cut trees down.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I can't say too much. I was cutting, me and a buddy of mine. We have a huge oak tree in the backyard, and I cut a limb out of it about 18 inches diameter, and it fell, and it landed on its end and bounced and shot through my neighbor's fence.
CTR? Shit happens.
If this is tree cutting confessions, I must also make a confession. I dropped a tree from my property, which I've only got 3 acres, but I was trying to get some of the woods out, and they're big ass straight trees. I think they're ash trees or something like that. But the one, it was supposed to go from left to right, and it went from right to left, and I put it right over the main highway that's close to my house, and yeah, me and my neighbors, it was actually, that's what's cool about the area I live in. We freaking, bam, I was like, oh shit, and I ran out and I started cutting it up, like as fast as I can, and the other neighbor come running out, chucking it up on the hill as fast as he could. There wasn't a single car that went by the time we had that fucker cleaned off the tree.
Wow.
Off the road.
Wow. So it didn't quite come down the way you figured it would, Lou.
it worked, but it wasn't quite as planned.
Oh, you know what, Rosie? After you drop a tree on a house, everybody you know is a professional tree trimming expert. They're like, oh, why didn't you just call me?
And that's the thing with the trees. I mean, I'm by no means am I a professional. If something didn't look right and the tree had a twist in it where I thought it was going to fall toward the road, I had a 30-foot ladder, and I went up with a come along with a chain, and I would, get the tension on so it would fall the way I wanted it to. And this tree was almost as straight as I wanted with a little bit of a right twist. And I was like, oh, that's going to go exactly where I want it to go. No, it had other plans. Right across the damn road. And that's the way it works. I mean, you think after you've done it for Christ, I'd been cutting those trees down for a week and everything's falling the way I wanted it to. And there's always that one asshole in the group.
That's right.
That's what I was about to say. Anytime if I go back in the woods down, I can make that son of a bitch fall wherever I want. I'm every time. If there's something direction you don't want it to go, every time that's the direction it's going to go. Every time.
There'll be some hidden rot in it, and it'll like fall and buckle sideways and come off like.
Oh yeah,
like,
the worst is the one whenever it starts leaning just a little tiny bit, and then all of a sudden, like 3/4 of the way up the tree, it snaps. If you're not paying, man, I almost got hit by 2 of those because it was rotted way up, and I wasn't. I'm watching my cut, making sure I don't pinch my blade because that's the biggest worry you got. And all of a sudden the tree like kind of did a real quick vroom, vroom, and as soon as it does that quick movement, I just bailed and ran backwards. Well, basically it wasn't a run backwards; it was a fall dive, TJ Hooker, roll type deal. But it was all luck. It was all luck. I didn't kill myself, and it wasn't that you don't know what you're doing. It's just that you don't know. You don't know how it's going to work. And man, them tree guys, No wonder they get paid not a lot of money, but they get paid good money to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
they cut
get
their
paid
arms
good
off
money.
and die all the time too.
Those ones where they climb up there and they try cutting the tops off and stuff, and then it'll catch and snap. And those, I don't know how half of those guys survive that shit.
Harnesses.
Well, no, that's fine, but they're doing this to the tree,
Right.
and then the saw comes around and fucking smacks them in the forehead.
I was doing this to my. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Hey, Parlesk, I watched one of your videos with, I guess he's your neighbor close by, with Eric. He sent you a bunch of cool stuff. That's pretty awesome, man.
Which one?
I didn't want to give it all away. With all the soaps and everything, and with the patches. Wasn't that yours?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
You're thinking of Eric Bomey.
Oh,
No,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah, I was impressed by all the crap you got. That was freaking badass.
That was from Iraqi veteran 888888888.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went to what is that guy's? That didn't go to me. That went to somebody else.
Yeah.
I got it confused. Ebola, yeah. Yeah, that was. He got every freaking patch and soap and sticker and.
Rick, you're so good with YouTube channels. I just think it's great.
Yeah, you know, there's
you really know your YouTubers, man. That's awesome.
I try.
I've sent him like 4 messages on YouTube asking him what kind of mag holder he wants, and he never messages me back.
Yes.
I sent you like a link that was like, "Is this a good one?" And I never got one back.
I answered you.
No.
No?
I don't think so. Nope.
Maybe it didn't go through.
Hey, Parlusk, Rick's from California. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, he's already demonstrated his knowledge of YouTube just a few seconds ago. So, you know, yeah, he's a slow one in the crowd. You got to give him a minute.
I'm trying.
Kind of push him, shove him a little bit, you know.
Yeah, baby steps, right?
Yeah, I was pumping out videos there like I'll go for like 6 months and not do one, and then all of a sudden I'll pump like 20 videos out in 10 days, and now I'm on a dry spell. I just went into business with a good friend of mine, and we're in like the almost final stages of developing a gun product. I'm having some samples sent in right now, and once we get the prototypes that we've already made worked out great, and once we get those in, we're going to do like a crowdfunding in it, and then we're going to mass produce them and sell them.
Awesome.
But we're hoping that we've already signed a bunch of non-disclosures with a lot of people, a lot of gun guys around here, and had them test it out, and we got some awesome feedback with it. So it should be.
How did Etsy work out for you with the Kydex?
Not very well.
No.
The thing about Kydex is I've been doing it for probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And when I first started, I had a website, and I took all my orders in on the website, and it got to where it was such a pain because you'd have like 50 emails a day, people wanting like stupid crap. Like, I have a flashlight that I want handcuff holders with, and can you make it inside the waistband? And I'm like, no, I make like this right here is what I make. And then you'd have people that were, I don't know, it just got to where it was a pain. So I took my website down because I only do it part time, and I just started taking orders through email. And now I only do mag holders. I don't do holsters anymore, just because I'm on such a time constraint with work and everything.
If I could get a nickel for every time I got requested to build a mag loader for a freaking 22, I'd be on a fucking island somewhere enjoying a freaking Mai Tai. You know what I mean? And you can't build damn mag loader for a little friggin' bitty 22 round. You know, some people are just incredibly interesting out there. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I still get emails probably 2 or 3 times a week for people like, I have this customized knife. Can you make me a sheath for it? And no, you can't make a sheath for it because you have to make it around that knife.
Well, your answer should be yes. Send me the knife and $500, and I'll get you the product out right away.
I just say no. Actually, most of the time, I just don't even answer them because the only thing I sell now is just mag holders. I've sold and mainly just the horizontal mag holders.
Yeah, no, I
I've
totally.
had that same.
I get it, man. Trust me, I'm trying to get away from custom work myself.
All right, so you gave me an idea. So what I want, Pops, is I need a mag loader for a Marlin Model 60, tube fed 22 rifle.
I want one too. I got 2 of them.
Hey, just sell the damn gun. You'd be better off.
But no, hopefully this new product and I'll come out and once we reveal it, I'll send pictures out to everybody and a video. We met with a videographer to do the video the other day on kind of a revealing video. And we've got some awesome feedback on this product, and it's like super simple, and I don't know why nobody's ever thought about it, but hopefully it'll take off and I don't know, make a couple million off of it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now, is it for both rifle and pistol, or is it for one or the other?
No, it's for one particular. I can't give too much away, but it's for one particular gun or one particular style of gun. But
right.
everybody has it.
Yeah, I love hearing stuff like that. I wish you well, brother.
You heard it here first. At this product, it's awesome. You're going to want to buy a bunch of them. All the details just been laid out, and so it's coming soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Between work, thankfully work's been slow. I do emergency response work, so thankfully, work's been slow, and I've not been out for weeks at a time. So I've been able to design it and get prototypes built, and within the next month, we're hoping to have it ready to start. What we're going to do is we're going to crowdfund because the initial manufacturing of it, we were looking at. I mean, the product was going to be like $40, and I was like, we can't sell it. I mean, I think it'd be worth it, but we can't sell it for that. So we redesigned everything and talked to a bunch of different manufacturers, and we're hoping to crowdfund it and get 500 or 600 orders to get that first order off, so we don't have to.
What would be a good price for that, Parvel? For
we're hoping to get it around the $20 or under is what our product's going to be.
That'd be awesome. For. That'd be a great product at that price point.
And that way it'll give us a little bit of leverage as far as the manufacturing of it, because it's crazy when you start looking at getting stuff mass manufactured. Like today, I sent out to have it 3D printed, and two of the quotes that come back in were $89 a piece to have them 3D printed.
Wow.
And if I buy 10 of them, I told the guy, I was like, I could buy a 3D printer and print them myself for what I'm going to be paying you. And it's just a kind of a pain, but luckily my business partner, he's super intelligent when it comes to business, and we've been able to sit down. He actually at one time owned the largest online retailer of airsoft in the whole world. So
good stuff.
He's
whenever you get
the technical side of it.
Well, whenever you get whatever this product is out there, You don't have to debut it here by no means. I wouldn't ask no bullshit like that. But
Yes,
whenever
do.
you get it going and you want to promote your product, back and we'll push the shit out of it, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, and honestly, like the guy that I'm in with, my business partner, we're both huge gun guys. And actually, the videographer that come and met with us, he's a huge gun guy too. And he come in the other day and met with us, and we had him sign the non-disclosure. And I took him in one of the rooms. I handed him the gun, and I'm like, you're in a situation right now where somebody's invading your house. And I went through the whole steps, and he did it. And he's like, man, that's awesome. He's like, he goes, I would have never have thought about that, but now that it's there, I don't know why anybody's not done this before. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what we thought when the idea come into our head. And we've talked a lot about what we're going to do with the company, and we're also going to open it up where I have past manufacturing experience, and so does he. We're going to open it up on part of the website for if anybody has an idea. We'll have a non-disclosure already on the website, and you can come to us with your idea, and you can either partner with us or we'll help you out. The little guys getting your idea going, and we're not going to be like the rip-off. Come to us with your idea, and we'll file your provisional patent for you, and then keep leading you on. And you're 10 grand into an idea. If we don't like your idea, we'll tell you, this is junk. But if it's something that we feel is relevant, we'll take it and help you run with it. And that's the way a lot of the big companies, like most people don't even know, like Magpul Industries, the first thing that they ever made was these little rubber straps that go on the back of magazines. And most people today, when you say Magpul, they have no clue that what those are, the little rubber straps. But that's where they started at, are little silicone injected rubber straps that fit over magazines. And now they're like one of the biggest in the gun industry.
So you talk about a home invasion deal, and how in the hell are you going to build a 50 BMG for $20?
Hello, China.
That reminds me of a mag loader company that is out there.
Do you have are you putting a website up, Pops?
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's kind of a shitty process, but it's coming.
Do you have somebody else? Are you paying a third party to do it, or?
No, I'm keeping it close in and doing. I've hired a guy the guy that's kind of gonna handle my social media is doing it. I'll just leave it at that. But he's young and he knows all that shit. Us old fuckers don't know nothing about social media. Really, where it comes down to working it hard. So, but anyway, we're gonna attack the man cave market, if you will, with a bunch of other products once the website comes along. But I'm not in any hurry. I got another business that I got to kind of keep running too. So,
well, Pops, here in about the next 2 months, I'm going to have a promotional video for you. The chief just said that we're ordering, I forget how many mags. I think it's 100 and whatever comes in the two cases. It's either 150 or 200 P mags, 30 rounds, and we're going to load every fucking one of them with your mag loader. And I'm going to video that. I won't be able to say what department it's for or anything like that.
I'll send a couple more, man. It's all good.
That one you sent me, man. I'll sit there and do it all day. But if you feel the need, then
yeah,
by all means.
I like to support the troops. I think it's good. The quicker you can load them mags, the better it is for the general public.
Well, if that is what you want to do, then just send your blemishes, because we don't give a shit as long as it works. We don't care what they look like.
Oh yeah, I got blems stacked to the fucking ceiling. I can send you all day long. I don't want to sound like a cheap ass, but when I send people shit, that's what I send them.
But the thing, The blemish, and I think that's what you sent me. I still can't find it.
Nah, it's usually insignificant, but it's my standards are pretty high when it comes to sending something to somebody for money. So if it's got a tiny little spot on it, it gets pushed to the side.
Well, if you want to, there will be within the we're getting them. I think we just ordered them, so we're supposed to get them because of all the stupid government contract bullshit where we have to put out bids to buy stuff. We won't get the mags for about 2 months, but yeah, that was my plan, was doing a I don't want to call it a promotional video, but it's going to be like, hey, look, these are the mag loaders from Pop's Quest, and this is I can't name the department, of course, but this is what we're using. And
no, I appreciate that. At this point, it's just fun to see people using them for, especially something like that. That'd be really unique, So.
Well, I'll tell you, I felt like an ass the first time I tried to use that thing because I was trying to be gentle. I'm like, I put the rounds in. I'm like, it's not working. And somebody's like, slam that fucking thing, just slam it, and then boom, that.
Yeah, some people fail to realize you're trying to shove 30 rounds and force it against a spring that's supposed to push them upward against gravity to make them fire correctly. I mean, that's one of the worst things about this business is you get people messaging you about how you should totally redesign your product, and I just feel like telling them, fucking man up and push the sumbitch. I mean, it's pretty much that easy.
You should do that.
Yeah.
That's what SOE Tactical does. And then tell them if they want to reorder, they have to pay double.
Yeah. Anytime, y'all know, if you watch my YouTube channel, anytime I get somebody that wants to try to help me re-engineer the shit, I videotape the fuck out of it. And the last guy was from New Jersey. He had some screwed up mags, and I videotaped all that. And I did another whole video before I sent him back to him. So if he comes back, I already have the footage to kind of throw it back out there. But it ain't nothing wrong with a loader. Those damn fucking 15-round mags are garbage. That's all there's to it.
All right. How much do you sell your mag loaders for, Pops? Your good ones? I mean, the ones that you...
They're 38 plus 12 bucks shipping.
Limited.
Yeah, it's 38 plus 12 bucks shipping is $50 to your door. So
okay, there you go, $50 to your door with shipping.
And as a user, best $50 you'll ever spend. The best $50 you'll ever spend.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll be totally honest with you. I don't need to. It's a side business for me, and I appreciate people that like it as a gadget. But if you need to buy ammo, buy ammo. Don't buy this loader. I don't want people buying a $50 loader when they really need ammo. This is for the person that's got plenty of ammo and they shoot a lot, so they load a lot and stuff like that. I never want to push something on somebody when they need something else. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need it off the loaders. I got another business that's doing just fine. I just enjoy making mag loaders. I've always wanted to get into the gun industry somehow, and this is my little foot in the door. So don't buy it if you don't shoot a lot, period.
I would disagree with him, even though he's trying to he wants you to buy ammo. Buy it. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it.
I know the last time I was at Rob's place, Pop's Quest place, his farm, and I caught myself loading the AR magazine by hand, one round at a time. And it hit me. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, there was a whole stack of them on the table.
Yeah, I was hoping to get down there for the Farmageddon. Last time I talked to Bobby, and I was going to be down there the weekend, either the weekend before or the weekend after. I forget which one it was.
Well, another one's coming up, but I'm not making a public video, and it's all private. So if you're interested, I'll gladly send you an invite, but I'm not doing a public video on it this time just because it's a lot of people already committed.
I appreciate. I'd say hopefully we'll be neck deep in business, and I won't be able to do anything for the next year. That's what we're hoping for.
There you go. That's a good way to think about it. That's awesome.
And I'm hoping that I can just drop down and do what I do part time, because I'm not getting too old to do it. It's just too stressful.
What kind of work do you do? You said emergency response?
Yeah, I do hazardous materials response. I run a state contracted hazmat team,
Okay.
and we cover 7 counties in Virginia. So we do all the emergency response hazmat wise for that.
Wow.
And if you've ever seen a company like that come in, and do you guys take care of like semis that are rolled over on interstates? And
Yeah, we do fixed facility, railroad, highway, and we just do the emergency response. We usually don't do the cleanup. So we'll do like the tactical entries and stop the leaks and do the docking and damming and like the grounding and bonding. But where we're so remote, where I live so remote, a lot of times we'll end up doing a lot of the cleanup and a lot of the transfers too. But we have some nasty stuff come through where we are, because we're right off 81 most of the way.
Yeah, if you have a train coming through your town, some nasty shit going through your town.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably acids and all kinds of shit coming through that place.
You'd be amazed at the shit on a train.
Yeah, we had about 2 years ago, we had a big derailment. I think they lost 18 cars, and they had one that was propylonic acid, and they ended up, I think it was 23,000 gallons, and they lost about, I don't know, 5,000 gallons of propylonic acid, and they had a sodium hydroxide tank go right off the trestle. I mean, there's actually a guy fishing. He was sitting under the train trestle fishing when four of the rail cars rolled off the trestle and landed like 50 feet from him. And he left his pole and truck and everything and just took off running.
I guess
because
so.
you had this big poison thing that says poison gas on the side just land right beside of you. And he wouldn't even go back in and get his truck. He made one of the officers go back in and drive his truck out. But we were over there for about 2 weeks dealing with that. And while we were over there, I mean, once they got the track back open, you would have, rail cars come through with 100 cars, some of the stuff that was in it, I'm trying to think, a lot of alcohols, a lot of acids, chlorine cars. I mean, the amount of stuff that's traveled by or shipped by rail is just amazing. And 2 of my buddies, one of my best friends, he actually is a hazmat guy for one of the railroads, and the other one is a private contractor that services all the railroads. And I talked to them, and I mean, they transfer stuff that's just straight deadly, like hydrofluoric acid, which
Man.
once you get it on your skin, it seeks calcium. So, if you get exposed to it, you're dead within 5-10 minutes. I mean,
Yeah,
the
hydrofluoric
stuff
acid
that they
is
mess with is just ridiculous.
bad stuff.
If you smell almonds, you know you're dying.
Yeah.
What's that stuff for the gas chamber?
VX.
Is it VX? Yeah, I heard it smells like almonds. So they said if you smell almonds, you're going down.
Well, it's I went through the gas chamber in boot camp, and it's CS gas.
Yes, the asses.
Yeah, and it's
No. The one where the gas chamber
Is it
like
mustard gas?
Oh, you mean when they kill people?
when they kill people. What,
Okay, well I don't. Yeah, I don't
well,
know.
that gas, whatever that gas is, I can't think of it right now. But it's supposed to smell like almonds. And if you smell almonds, you're a goner.
There's a lot of most of them have 2 letters like VN or VX. All the deadly ones they don't have names. They're just small, and they're mostly military weapons.
Zyklon B, Xylon B.
Yeah.
The gas chamber I went through was just to teach you a lesson. Keep your freaking mask on.
What is that shit called?
Yeah, and it was nice of them to tell you to take it off.
Cyanide gas. Greg got it.
Yeah, cyanide. You wouldn't believe the amount of cyanide that's still out there. I mean, there's tons of different cyanide, hydrogen cyanide. There's a
I guess for all our
plethora of
gold mining,
cyanides.
gold mining depends on a lot of cyanide leaching.
Yeah, and what
Yeah, it has a
what
lot
most
of
people
industry.
don't understand
Yeah.
is the amount of cyanide that's in a structure fire. A lot of fire departments carry antidotes to cyanide now because of when they're doing overhaul, they're getting poisoned with cyanide because when you burn mattresses and foam, it puts off hydrogen cyanide, and they've had a lot of issues with cyanide poisoning from people not wearing SCBAs doing overhaul.
Wow. That's very dangerous. Stay safe.
Well done, TR. I think you just made the hit list for the Department of Homeland Security again.
With all this gas.
Well, you know, hell, it ain't like I hadn't had trolls before, so we're equal opportunity of offenders.
That's right. Gotta keep it honest.
When I go to a lot of the conferences and stuff that we go to, or even when we had a mock disaster probably 3 or 4 months ago, and it's usually put on by the EPA. And this one we had over to college, and we brought in 3 hazmat teams, and it was terrorism related. So they had a chemical homicide. A lot of people have heard of the chemical suicides, where they make H.T.F gas and kill themselves with it. Well, this was a chemical homicide. So what they did is they put a guy in. Well, this is all mock disaster. They had a guy in a car, and the car was all taped up, and he was handcuffed to like the steering wheel, and he had a bomb in his lap, and then he had a H2S generator beside of him. And then when we made entry, to a building that they had a lab set up, like a TATP explosive lab set up, and then they had all the chemicals laid out, and you had to figure out what it was, and then you went into another part of the room, and they had a ricin lab set up. So everybody's sitting there Googling on their phones the chemicals that come up, and you know that the Homeland Security is like nailing our phones left and right because people are, what chemicals do you use to make ricin? The people are like Googling that, trying to figure out what they are. So
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I haven't heard
yeah,
that.
ricin probably is one of the most deadliest poisons out there, and it's pretty much you take the castor bean from the plant, and that's where ricin comes from. Who was it that got killed with ricin? They put it on the end of an umbrella and with a needle and stuck somebody with it.
That's where you use a sniper and then just burn everything down, right?
Well, not really, because a lot of the stuff that you have in there, I mean, you got to dispose of it some way.
And that's what a lot of people don't. I mean, not like Rick. I mean, the guys and girls that are on the chat panel, and a lot of guys that are out in the chat room, we kind of understand the gas cloud with being upwind versus being downwind and stuff. But how many people have no idea? I mean, no idea.
Oh, yeah.
They think, oh my God, there's 5 people laying alongside the road with a tanker truck or a railroad car rolled over. I'm going to go up and help them, and they're there for 30 seconds and they're dead. There's no concept. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's that I want to help, but you want to help, but yeah, you just screwed yourself.
I think we not personally, but man, a lot of people die every year from confined space stuff. You know, their buddy,
Oh yeah.
water department or whatever. You know, the guy's working on something he never tested. Boom, he's like, what the hell is Bill doing down there? He's taking a nap, and then he goes down there to help him out, and then he's down there. Then the next guy, and it's like this continuous like mouse trap, man. It's just like dumb.
I was
Yeah,
just about to talk about that.
We get that, Rick, in the wine business. Sometimes these people get into these fermenting tanks and they pass out and drown working in some of these big tanks and stuff. No oxygen.
Well, that just happened today in Florida. In Florida today, there were 3 guys that were working underground for a sinkhole or something in like next to a road, and 3 guys were working underground. I thought it was a road. I might be wrong with that. But there's 3 guys. It was definitely today, or yes, it might have been yesterday. Oh, here it is. Yeah, they were working on a road project underground, and because the gases collected in that confined space underground and it settled down, 3 of them died.
What a lot of people don't understand is, you have hydrogen sulfide that comes out of sewers, and that'll displace the oxygen, and that's a lot of people die from that. And then curing concrete, like when they put in the manholes, when the concrete cures, it'll pull the oxygen out of the air. And also anything that's rust, any tanks that have rust in them, I mean, you get rust by the oxygen. You know, iron and oxygen makes rust, so it's pulling oxygen out of the air to make the rust. And people go in these tanks and there's no oxygen in it, and they pass out. But it's real bad in the sewer systems is where most people get it because of the hydrogen sulfide.
Yeah, it's crazy. As a kid, we used to run around, get in skateboards, and go down all the manhole covers, you know, and like you could go all the way to the lakes and stuff in these things. And I'm thinking, how the hell did I even survive? I mean, and then you'll get kids that are digging holes, right? And then the thing will collapse on them. I mean, all the shit we did as kids, and people die from that. You're like, how did I make it?
We found we were up on a strip job one time and found like a 6-inch metal pipe that was coming out of the ground, and we took a fishing line and put big sinkers on it and let it go all the way down to the bottom. It was like 500 some feet deep. So we got the big bright idea, like, let's go get some bottle rockets and start shooting bottle rockets. And I went back home and was on my back, and we'd already done this. I was like, man, I got some Roman candles. We can do that. So I go back home, and my dad, he's in hazardous material. He does the same thing I do. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, we found this pipe sticking out of the ground, and we're shooting bottle rockets down in it. And he's like, that's a methane vent pipe for the coal mine. And we're down there shooting bottle rockets down it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, stupid ass shit we do.
Yeah, you're gonna blow the freaking side off of a mountain like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably some
Well,
poor guy down there in the mines getting shot at by bottle rockets.
That's awesome.
Well, there's a lot of, and I don't know all of them. A lot of the gases and stuff, it's not so much the gas that kill you. It's heavier than air. Lungs filled with it, you can't push it out and you'll just suffocate to death.
Yeah.
I know somebody pointed out phosgene gas. I'm not sure that that's one of them.
Phosgene's a poison gas.
And like, if I weld, I don't know the name of it, but galvanized pipe, it gives off a gas that's heavier than air. In space, you'll get your lungs filled with it and you'll suffocate because you can't get it out. Galvanized pipe, it's usually just a little bit of welding, and you know, it's not that big a deal. I'm not in a confined space. I'm in a big ass shop or whatever, but that shit will take your breath, you know, and you have to step away. Like, oh shit, you know, it got in your welding mask or whatever, you know. But
yeah, and you'll taste metal for a while.
There's been a lot of people that died in fast food restaurants because the fast food they use carbon dioxide for the soda machines, and they'll get a hole in one of the lines coming in, it's a big carbon dioxide tank, and it'll leak out back into a bathroom or something and displace the oxygen, and they'll walk into the bathroom and just pass out because there's no oxygen. It's displaced the oxygen.
Yeah, I've walked into some public bathrooms and I've passed out before. I know exactly what you're talking
about. You live to tell about it, Pops.
That's why you're building the outhouse shack.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be the best smelling shit house in the whole state because it's in the middle of nowhere.
You need to put the exhaust fan, one of them ones that'll just actually pull your hair up on your head.
I'm trying to look for little windows from Goodwill or something to throw in there. But anyway, nothing.
Cap all that off and pull the methane off of it, and then run it into your stove. So when you're there cooking hamburgers for everybody, and they're like, "How are you cooking this?" Like
the shit
methane.
Yeah, shit gas.
Yeah, you got to recycle all that stuff.
Yeah, this tastes like shit.
I think I'll keep it separated just for now. That'll be more of a shit at the fan kind of a thing.
It's funny. I had a captain years and years ago. He was a large gentleman, so he went in for that surgery, and they cut out a big portion of his intestines. And every morning he would eat 2 Del Taco burritos. Well, that stuff wouldn't have time to do its thing, right? And that dude was nasty. So the guys put this huge vent inside the bathroom, and it seriously would like suck your hat off your fucking head when you're in there shitting. It was like, holy crap, stuff be flying out of your pockets. But he was bad. It was rotten. I mean, it was like death.
Yeah, but did he lose weight? I mean, did it help?
Yeah. But I had a nose plug thing, like that actually would plug your nose for calls or Vicks. Like if we were going code 3 to a call or something and he had to let one loose, I mean, it was bad. Like you'd see 3 guys hanging their heads out the window.
You should have got one of them fucking ladder trucks where the dude in the back steers and put his ass back there.
Yeah, he was the captain though. He was in the front.
Yeah, with a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket.
It was bad.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd deal with that, but we just fire fuckers like that. We don't keep them around.
Pops has got. You gonna wear those at Farmageddon, right?
What's that?
The ninja glasses. You gonna wear those to Farmageddon, right? Safety
the whole time.
Sweet.
No, I'm in Honduras right now, but as soon as I get back,
undisclosed location.
Yeah, I'm in my Honduran bunker, but as soon as I get back, I'm gonna work on the crap shack at Farmageddon. I go back and forth between Honduras a lot. I got business down here, so
they buy mag loaders for the AKs.
I can't really. I can't really talk about it. But
you better not, Pops. You better clamp it.
I want to make it back alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. I know we've been kind of keeping away from politics a little bit tonight. There's been a couple of news feeds has been popping up on Facebook, Google Plus, all the other stuff about these individuals that are planning attacks on the inauguration, and there's actually video evidence, like where they're sitting talking to this undercover reporter. Have you guys caught any of that?
That Project Veritas?
I hope nothing happens. I hope people aren't that stupid.
No, they are that stupid. They're openly talking. I mean, they're people sitting down at a pizzeria talking about how they're going to use what. It's not the acid that'll kill you. It's the acid that just stinks like hell. It won't kill you.
Hydrogen sulfide or something.
Yes.
H2S.
Yes.
H2S.
Yeah, and they want to set these bombs off inside of where these pre-inauguration balls are going on. During the inauguration balls, set off all sorts of
Sounds like terrorism to me.
That's what I thought. Fucking arrest them.
H2S, the
Shoot 'em in
H2S
the face.
generators that people make, you can accelerate it, and you can have an IDLH, which is like immediately dangerous to life and health, in a train car or in like a subway in a matter of like, I don't know, 2 seconds. You can kill everybody in it. The class I took last year, the state trooper was talking about that.
So it goes from a quote unquote not a prank, but something that's just supposed to make things stink and just be an annoyance for people. It can actually kill them.
Oh yeah, hydrogen sulfide is deadly. I mean, it's and I'm surprised that your department's not issued a statement on chemical suicides. It's big, kind of where we've had a couple in Virginia, and there's been a couple out west. People are killing themselves with chemicals, and what they do is they'll either tape up like their dorm room or their apartment or their car, or they'll actually just sit in their car and shut it. And I'm not going to say the chemicals that you mix, but you mix the chemicals and it creates hydrogen sulfide, and you have like one breath and you're dead. And then it'll just sit there and generate and generate. And some of the time, or some of the calls that they've had, like the hospital or the morgue won't even take the body. They'll actually have to set up an outside tent at the hospital or the morgue because their body is just off gas, dangerous levels of hydrogen sulfide for a week later. And it's real bad for first responders because you have a call that you have a unresponsive male in a car, and then you just go grab the door, go in, or you kick the door in and walk in, and you're dead.
I was going to say that same thing. There's been a couple cases of that in California. There was one where the guy had put in a note because he knew that responders, basically the fire department's going to respond to someone unconscious in a car, unresponsive. We're going to break the window or whatever to get in. And the guy had put a note, not so much of basically a suicide note, but like a handwritten like skull, with X's on it.
From what I've read and the case studies that we've had, most everybody that's did the chemical suicide has, they're not trying to kill everybody else. They're just trying to kill themselves. So they'll leave, a note saying that this is a chemical suicide. Call your local hazmat team, or don't open poison gas. But you always have that one asshole that's just like, screw it.
Yeah, didn't have a pen.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to read.
Yeah, I left my note at the house, and I'm not going back home.
Son of a bitch.
But that's fucked up. Whatever happened to taking a bunch of fucking pills, shooting yourself in the fucking head, or jumping off a bridge? I hate to be so point blank about it, but these people that want to commit suicide, and God, whoever, give these people the strength to call the suicide prevention hotlines. They're out there. It's like 1-800-HELP-ME, or there are suicide prevention hotlines out there to where you guys can call if you're in a dark place. But where the hell have we gone from I'm going to kill myself to I'm going to kill myself and 30 other people, and I'm going to blow up my apartment building, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to you are now no longer suicidal. You are homicidal.
Yeah.
Islam.
Well, and a lot of it, minus the gas one, is attention. I mean, I had a guy stab himself like 15 times in the abdomen with a butter knife, and he only went in an inch and a half, and he was a big, large gentleman. He wasn't trying to kill himself. He wanted attention. He wanted to help. So how bad can it be? I don't know if I should even say it's kind of a joke thing with the fire guys, but it's like your life is so bad that you go, okay, I'm going to go to the next step. I'm going to take my own life, and then you can't make that happen. Like, how's that gotta feel? Like, I mean, I don't mean it mean, but it's like, you're either wanting attention, and that's one way to get it, or it's just got to suck that life is so bad, and then you can't even pull that off. You know what I mean?
Because we've raised a generation of fucking losers.
It's like
I'm not trying to. Well, I am. I am trying to make fun of it, but I mean, if you're gonna fuck kill yourself, just fuck kill yourself.
Yeah, there's definitely a line there where the person that wants to kill himself, they just go, it's done. But there's a ton of depressed people out there that need attention or are seeking, but don't have the balls to go out and actually ask for help. And so the way they do it is by these stupid ass maneuvers where they butter knife themselves in a fat gut. I mean, that's just a cry for help, you know. But but there is a side of me that says, you know, if you're gonna do it right, you know. But anyway,
start a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had a buddy of mine who served overseas and was only stateside for a year, and he took a shotgun to his face, you know, with his wife and his kids in the house.
My best friend shot himself.
You know, those kinds of things.
With a shotgun.
Yep, and those kinds. So you look at suicide like that, and you're like, well, there definitely was something wrong. But the person that half-ass it is just looking. They are actually the people looking for help because they have no intention of killing themselves. They're just looking for someone to.
Then you have just the straight unlucky people. We have a bridge that's like 20 minutes from here that there's probably been 8 people jump off of, and you have that one unlucky person. I mean, it's probably 110 feet. I mean, they just splatted and laid down there for like 14 hours before anybody knew that they were down there. Then they drug them all the way up, and they laid in the hospital for like a week and a half before they died.
Yeah, we've
had several infections.
Yeah, we've had several people jump off a bridge here locally that because it's all mud, they just stick there, and then the fire, you know, fire and rescue.
Got some explaining to do.
They just stick there, and the fire and rescue comes and gets them, and they survive. And
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And TR, I'm gonna save your chat just a little bit. I'm gonna do a little public service announcement. If anybody out there listening to this chat has any thoughts of harming themselves or other, there is a number you can call: 1-800-273-TALK, TALK, 1-800-273-TALK. If you're having issues, call these people. It's you don't have to give your name, you don't have to give anything, but these people are trained to get you to a place you need. And even though we're kind of making light of this, I mean, we all know service members, we all know people that have suffered post-traumatic stress disorder, we all know those. We're kind of making light of it just because that's who we are. We are first responders. We're people that have been in the military. We are people that have seen it, and maybe not seen it firsthand, but there are people out there that can help you out. So again, TR, trying to help you out. 1-800-273-TALK, TALK. If you really, really feel that way, give those people a call. They can help you out.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you're looking for help, fucking ask for it. Don't do a half-ass fucking suicide attempt. I mean, that's just not the right way to do it.
And you can tell the people that's been around it a lot because they're the ones laughing about it.
Yep.
And don't have a wife and kids and all that other bullshit, and you take the easy route.
Yeah, quit being a pussy.
That's right. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, really. Seriously. Yeah.
That's the bullshit stuff I see that pisses me off.
That is the bullshit. Yeah, no, taking the easy route out. Yeah. Man up. And
2 young babies sitting there with a wife, and you lose your job. That sucks. Totally understand. But there's more out there. Find a job, but don't offer yourself because you had a bad day or a bad week.
I mean, I've known people that killed themselves that I've actually like understood. Hey, I know why he killed himself. Like sometimes you go through so much shit that, I mean, you get in that place where you just,
yeah.
I guess you just, I mean, your kids die and then your wife dies and I don't know. I'm
Well,
not
I've dealt
advocating
with
suicide, but I've seen some things where I've been like, well, I kind of know why he offed himself.
I've dealt with a lot of people in my life, just in the business I'm in, and I've talked to and dealt with people that are in a state of depression, and I'm not qualified to talk to them. You don't know what you're doing if you're trying to talk to somebody who you feel like is really depressed. They need, professional help. They need to talk to someone that knows how to deal with that. And it's hard. That's the hardest part, is to get them to go, when someone's talking to you and they are depressed, man, the hardest thing is to get them to go seek professional help. So you try to do the best you can, but man, I've left several situations in my life thinking, fuck, it's over, and you don't know how to deal with that.
You
We
know
always
what?
had this one guy when we used to, back in college when we'd party, like he would kill the party. Like he would get drunk and it was like the same thing every time. Like everybody be having a good time. He'd get a couple beers in him, and the next thing you know, he's like, I want to kill myself. I mean, every time I don't have anything to live for. I want to die. And, all the chicks would be like, oh, trying to, and finally a buddy of mine just got tired of it, and he went out to his truck and he got a gun and he brought it back in and he handed the guy the gun. He says, just go in the bedroom, kill yourself. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, you do this every time. Just go in there and get it over with. And like he actually walked the guy in the bedroom and set him down and shut the door. And like he's like, I don't hear anything going on in there. Come on, let's get this over with. And like just like he didn't give him a loaded. I mean, the guy's probably never held a gun in his life. He didn't give him a loaded gun, but he's like, come on, just put it in your mouth and pull the trigger. Get it over with. And I don't know. I guess it was one of those things you had to be there. It's pretty funny.
No, you're 100% right. You always have those people out there that are going to be the drama queens that are trying to draw attention to themselves. But it's those people that are. I will not take the leap to say that being suicidal is a sickness. I cannot take that leap, because if it was a sickness, and I'm just kind of, this is my own train of thought. This has no opinion on science or anything else. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You're not going to do the little tiny slits on your wrist. You know what I mean? Like the make yourself bleed a little bit, go to the hospital. You're not going to take a couple pills and immediately call somebody. The people that we need to worry about, and the people that are, it's the people that are not reaching out for attention, which sometimes it's hard to decipher who is who. And we might be wrong. I mean, damn, you guys could have handed that dude that gun and that would have been his op, and bam, that would have made you guys feel like shit.
Well, I wasn't loaded, so he wasn't.
But
He just happened to have a couple rounds in his pocket.
Well, the poor guy, he never touched a gun before. I mean, he didn't even want to touch it, but he forced it in his hand and made him go to the bedroom.
The people that seek that attention.
Hey, Blue, I got a question for you.
Needs to beat the shit out of them. I'm sorry.
Have you ever been to a class? The reason why I bring this up, kind of talking about death, but the out of all my years, I have 27 years in the fire service. Not one class has ever been taught, given, or even talked about on how to tell a family member that their family has passed away. Like the first time I've ever had to do that, like I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you should not have to do that.
No, but have you ever been to a class?
Yes.
Oh, you have been to a class. Yes. Shit. I must have missed that day. Because I'm like, because that would be a great class on the proper way to tell a family member that their so-called loved one has passed away.
And with the classes that I've gone through, there is no proper way. They tell you if like say that, and I'll say Joe Blow. We know that Joe Blow's child was killed at 17 years of age in a car crash because some drunk driver hit him. They tell you, get a hold of, find out who the family is, find out who the clergy is, find out who, maybe if they have a psychiatrist already, we can't do that. We absolutely cannot do that. At the most, we can maybe find out who the local clergy is, or if nothing else, our department has a clergyman that, you know, if something happens or something like that, we take him with us, because me saying Mr. or Mrs. Smith, I'm sorry to inform you that your 17-year-old was killed in a crash tonight. Yeah, that doesn't work so well, because that's basically all we say. It's always better to have that extra, even if that person is non-religious, that clergy person knows how to talk to people about death. I mean,
yeah, but you're usually on your side. You're going to a house to tell a family member, right?
yes.
See, like on our end, it's usually like a full arrest has happened. You know, they woke up, you know, in the morning, and Fred passed away, right? And we're trying to do CPR on him, or we get there and he's got rigor mortis, or she's got rig, or, you know, some super sign of death that happened prior to.
Right.
Those ones are pretty, you know, it's usually the older ones, you know, so they know that the time has passed. But the younger one that shouldn't have happened, or like a SIDS patient, those are the ones that are pretty tough, because the basically the parents just had the baby, you know, not too long ago, and it's those are the ones, but it's right then now kind of thing. Like,
see, the way we've always been taught, and this might be a difference between state to state, is if it doesn't matter if somebody calls in for a 2-month-old, a 1-month-old, you know, whatever, you do the best acting job you've ever done, and you do the CPR, you act like you're doing it, because we know whenever we get there, and unfortunately, guys, we're not trying to be gross here. We're not trying to be talking about death and that stuff, but we know, we've been there so many times that we know exactly what it looks like. You do the absolute best acting job you can. You get that child out from the house into the ambulance, and the ambulance takes that child to the hospital. The child's dead. A lot of times, absolutely, and you hate saying that, there's no chance of any recovery unless you find it, bam. But that's the way we've been. That's the way we've been. I don't want to say trained, but it is, you do the best acting job while preserving the scene to make sure that there's no foul play.
I know we need to change the topic.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it is what it is, and it sucks, but
That's what always.
it is part of it. That's what you're guaranteed, is death.
That's what always. I've ran hundreds of fatality wrecks and fatality fires, and like usually, as long as it's not a kid, I mean, the fatality doesn't usually bother me. I mean, that never has really stuck in my head. It's just like when the family rolls up, or the other person that's in the car that was, you know, sitting there with him while you're cutting his friend out that's missing his head. I mean, that's what always messed with me. It wasn't the dead people; it was everybody freaking out around them.
All right,
Okay,
TR.
change the subject.
Yeah, bring me on, and everything goes dark.
Now,
if you're not sub to Trees Are Blowing, look up his channel, Trees Are Blowing. The inauguration chat, and Friday night should be Johnny Master of Arms done. I know it's a long name, but most of the people out there know who Johnny is. So Johnny Master of Arms done. We'll be doing a chat at 10. And we'll be doing the chat, you know, after the inauguration. I got to work tomorrow, so I won't be able to see the inauguration, which kind of sucks, but it'll be one of the few that I would have watched, but I got to work. So anyway, and just wanted to shift gears there a little bit. I don't want to end on a bad note, because we're probably going to end this here in about 10, 15 minutes.
So, are you in North Carolina or South Carolina, TR?
I'm in South Carolina. Very, very close to North Carolina. I'm like from the North Carolina border, headed toward Hendersonville or Asheville.
So you're just a couple hours from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Rick lives in Is Your Six Cover lives in Hendersonville, North Carolina. I'm like 20 minutes from him.
Okay.
That's why me and
It
him.
takes me about 2.5 hours to get to Asheville.
Asheville's like 45 miles from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're close to Pickens.
Yeah, I am.
Well, heck, I go down that way 4 or 5 times a year.
About to get together one day. At least have lunch or something. Go to Waffle House or some shit.
Yeah, we go to the Mother Earth News Fair. Have you ever been to it in Asheville?
What you talking about? Yeah.
I mean, if you're into prepping or farming or anything like that, that's a good thing to go to. They have like 300 or 400 vendors set up and speakers and everything.
When's that usually happen?
April, I think. Cody from Wrangler Star was there last time. He spoke at it, and then they had a meet and greet with him. But it's pretty cool. There's a lot of hippies there, but I mean, I get along with them.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Is it in Asheville?
It's
You have a message, sir.
trying to think where it's at. I think it's right outside of Asheville.
Okay, near Asheville anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, Fletcher maybe.
Yeah.
Because I go to that, and they have a big overland. I don't know if you know what overlanding is, but they have a big overland expedition down there too. And
oh, it's probably at the Ag Center, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near the airport. That's what I know.
Yeah, that's the Ag Center, WNC.
But it's pretty cool. They got a lot of classes that you can go take on like aquaponics and I mean, you name it. There's classes or vendors there set up for it. And there's a lot of prepper stuff there too. They have a bunch of sawmills. Like they have like 12 sawmills set up. You can run the sawmills. You can go drive their tractors. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of preppers type people in the South down here. South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, even Virginia, whatever. I mean, but the South in general, a lot of mindset people. I mean, it really, really is. And it really is just getting back to the basics of how it was in the South. I mean, hell, I remember growing up, my grandma and grandpas, they grew their own food. They had chickens, they had rabbits. It wasn't prepping. It was just living. That's what
homesteading
done it. And we're really just getting back to the way we were living before, canning your vegetables and all that shit and, getting ready for the next year and having stuff put back. I mean, the prepping name gotten a bad name, but really it's just getting back to the way it was. I mean, we might take it to the next level was being done 30, 50, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever. That's just the way it was. You did a big ass fucking garden. You canned your vegetables because next year there might be a drought and you not have any vegetables. And so you had to prep for years ahead of time. I mean, that's all it is the way we used to do things. That's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, it's I've been a prepper survivalist for years and years, and I've seen the transitions. First you had the survivalist, and everybody was gung ho about survivalism, And then Timothy McVeigh was a survivalist and decided to, bomb a federal building, so everybody didn't want to be a survivalist. And then you had the preppers, and then they had the doomsday preppers come out and all that, and now everybody doesn't want to be a prepper. So now everybody's like morphing towards homesteading. Everybody wants to be homesteaders now. I think I did a video probably last year that talking, that's what we really need to go towards is homesteading, because let's say you put back, 5 years worth of food and something big were to happen, once that runs out, then you're stuck. But if you're more self-reliant and it can, you can rely on yourself and self-sustain, then there's really no, as far as, you should have food put back, but when you get self-sustaining, that's actually what I think most people now are looking forward or looking towards, is just like a self-sustaining lifestyle.
Yeah, that just makes much more sense. The whole bug out thing is like, where in the hell are you bugging out to? What are you going to do for food? What are you going to do for shelter? I mean,
I'm going to the farm.
I'm not bugging out any damn where. I'm fucking hunkering down and, got chickens. I got a plot of land. I can grow a little bit of vegetables. I'm not good at it. I still suck at it, but I can grow something. And that's what took. It wasn't so much, okay, let me put back, which I have, but I mean, you can't put back a lifetime worth of food. You got to figure out how to live.
Yeah. In TR, I mean, you're a bug in guy. You know that that's where your last stand is. I've made it public. Once I leave my house and shit hits the fan situation, after I leave, by all means, whoever wants to raid the rest of the shit I have, take it, because I am a bug out situation, because I can bug out to a 100-acre farm with cows and pigs and sheep, and that's what the in-laws family has. That's what they've been raised on for generations, and that's where I'm going. So it's hard for me, and people don't realize this. If something happens to where my car won't work or I have no mode of transportation other than my feet, I'm gonna have so much shit left in my house that I'm gonna tell my neighbors, you take care of my house, you do this, you do that, and if we make it past this, I might come back sometime. You know what I mean? But there's no way. All the ammo that I have gotten over the years, if it gets that bad to where I can't transport it in a vehicle, I'm fucked. I'm not fucked as far as getting where I need to go. I'm fucked as far as I just wasted a ton of money on all of this ammo, and I'm going to be able to take a couple 30-round mags. I'm going to be able to take a couple of my rifles, a couple of my pistols, and enough food for the 3-day trek that we have to take to get to my bug out location on foot. And I mean, that's really something you really, really need to think about. I mean, and I've thought about it, and my kids know, the wife knows that it's going to suck, but we're going to do it.
Have you thought about maybe taking some stuff out there and leaving it?
We don't need anything out there, if that makes sense. We have enough out there, and I hate saying it. Like, I'm not trying to be cocky, like that we have enough. I mean, you can never have enough, but I want to have enough here that I can, if it's an onslaught, I want to be able to try to protect what I have,
right,
and then move, if that makes sense. But I know that once I make that move, if it's where you can't go by car, you can't go by, well, basically car, it's staying here. And my neighbors know that once I tell them, look, everything else, you guys, everything that's in my food pantry, everything that's in my ammo that I can't take, you guys, I don't care if my neighbors move their in-laws in. I've told them, if it goes to that, I don't care. Just take care of our area, and if it comes to the point where we can start coming back from whatever the hell we just got ourselves into, but it's once you leave, I've already pretty much made the conscious decision. Once I leave here, it's done. It's I hope the neighbors move in and they move their direct families in just so they can be close. But yeah, once we get to that point, it's lost.
Yeah, you get to that point. Once you walk away from your house, just plan on you'll never be back. So even if you do get back, plan on it being wiped out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, because most people ain't gonna take care of your shit. I mean, they'll probably use your house for like the septic. Like, if you're gonna take a shit, go over to Lou's house.
And I hate saying it, but that's exactly what I told my neighbors. If you need a secondary house to do whatever, do it. I don't care if it gets to that point. Once I'm gone, if it gets to that point, once I'm gone, go ahead, take it over, because I'm not coming back. And if I do come back, it's going to be years and years later, which you come back to something after an event like that, you're not coming back to anything. And we all know that.
Does everybody feel different now, the way that the election went? Like, leading up to the election, I was like freaking out. But now I feel like not as pressed.
You feel like you got a little bit of hope now.
That's like when I was watching that, I was like, if
economy
she wins, we're fucked. Like, we might as well just call it quits. But after he won, I was just like, well, maybe we have a couple of years or something, you know.
When it comes to guns,
I still think the economic situation, we're in a bind, and there's going to be a reset. Getting elected, I feel like we at least got a chance to reset it and reset it. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But it'll at least go in the right direction. With Hillary, fuck, we'd be in fucking World War III right now, probably already. I mean, went to shit quick.
I want the liberals for the next 4 or 8 years to freak out like I've been doing for the past 8 years. You know, I want them to be scared to death that everything's going to come crashing down on them.
You're going to have to work.
No. Yeah, now all of a sudden they're bringing back jobs, and it's like, oh shit, we got to work.
Fuck, I don't want to go to work.
Oh, you know, the way to disperse the unruly crowd, just go in the middle of them and start handing out job applications. They'll all scatter.
That's right. Fill this out.
Guaranteed, better than tear gas, because they'll be crying to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, they'll be running.
On the phones to say, you have reached a number that no longer in service. Get a fucking job.
We even brought pens too.
You have reached a number that you're going to actually have to pay for.
TR, I got a jet. I just want to tell everybody, it's not that I'm leaving because I'm pissed or anything. I got to get up in the morning. So thanks for the chat. Everybody out in the external, great job as always, and we'll see you the next time. Good night, guys.
See you, Blue.
Take care, Blue. Be safe.
You're my boy, Blue.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and end this because it has been, we hit the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to let everybody do an outro. Then I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to start with you, Rick. You want to do an outro?
Sure, why not? I'm going to be putting out a video. I got quite a few people asking about these hats that I wear. I got a red and black one, and how to get them and all that stuff. So I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'm not basically selling them. I'm just recouping my cost and then whatever shipping is. But there's a video that'll be coming out probably the next few days. But hopefully that helps you guys that keep asking. So other than that, I got some other videos coming out, normal stuff. And that's about it. Thursday I'll be doing another shoot. Having fun.
Cool.
Thanks,
Rosie,
TR.
would you like to do an outro, Rosie?
Yeah, I really enjoyed tonight's chat. A lot of different subjects. Parvell, really nice to meet you. And Rick, good to see you. And TR, always a pleasure to be on in the side chat. You guys were great. Saturday evening, I run a chat. TR pops by sometimes, a marathon chat. Huh? Sometimes we go the full late, but 6 to 8 hours, everybody's welcome to pop by. We have it gets crowded and crazy, but it's always fun. And stay safe, everybody. And I'm excited for Friday.
Cool. Thanks for coming on, Rosie. You're definitely an asset to the chat on Tuesday nights, and everybody looks forward to having you on here. And I just appreciate you coming on. I really do. Parlusk, a new guy on the chat. Thanks for coming on, man. And would you like to talk a little bit about your channel? Do any? I know you talked about other stuff, but I mean, outro of some type.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I didn't pull the chat in too dark of a place, but I have a YouTube channel. You can just Google or YouTube Parlusk. I do a lot of prepping videos, gun videos, build videos. I think I got, I don't know, 300 or 400 videos on YouTube dealing with prepping and survival and guns and all that. So check it out. And hopefully within the next month, we'll do the big release of our product. And I'll definitely jump on the chat if it's okay. You know, once we release that and let everybody know what it is and demonstrate it and all that. And hopefully get some backing. You know, social media is great. And, you know, if I can get my 11,000 subscribers and somebody else that has, you know, 10,000, 5,000, and just get the ball rolling with it, I think that it'll take off.
Sounds good. Did you make a comment in the external Parlusk so they can find your contact information easier?
I didn't, but I will. Hang on.
Well, yeah, it's changed. You can't hover like you used to, and it pops up. But if you type in Parlusk, Parlusk on YouTube right off the bat, some channels when you try to type their name in, it don't come up, but his comes up right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm the only Parlusk.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. So with that, anyway, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. It's just good to have new people, and we can kind of, you know, and stuff like that. And I appreciate you. And say whenever you put out whatever that product is, get it going. Hell, you're welcome to come back anytime I have a chat. And with that, let's close this out. Don Owen's channel Thursday night, Friday night. Johnny Master at Arms Dunn should be having a chat, you know. So we'll do an inauguration recap or whatever. And other than that, I'll see you Tuesday night. And those following. So thanks for
Night,
coming
everyone.
by.